All right, what is good, everybody? So, Detroit Lions beat the New Orleans Saints, quite obviously. Third loss in a row for the Saints. Does it really surprise you? You know, get down 21-0 within the first, what was it, 7 minutes of the game? The team looked horrible. It looked like they flat out just didn't care, didn't want to play. But to their credit, I will say I'm proud of them for fighting back. Guys like, Kamara, Olave, Taysom, some guys on the defense, they fought back. They could have just phoned it in and said, look, it is what it is. But they did not do that. So, like I said, proud of them for that. Um, you know, third loss in a row. I say it every week. I basically put the same video out every week. Team's never going to win anything of significance under the current regime. It's just not going to happen. And speaking of that, speaking of three losses in a row, speaking of another loss for Dennis Allen and the Saints, let's go ahead and change his record here live. He goes from 20-44 to 20-45. Now, look, on the topic of the Saints fighting back, showing heart, showing that they care. Um, Let me just say this, the Detroit Lions were a fun team to root for, right? They're a fun team to root for. Dan Campbell is a fun coach. They got a lot of former Saints guys on the staff and on the team. Um, fun organization to root for. They've historically been terrible. Now they're not. I will say this: I will not root for the Detroit Lions again this year because they probably just allowed Dennis Allen to keep his job, right? You're up 21-0. Just put us out of our misery. And I never want the Saints to lose a game, but when it's that far out of hand like that, just put us out of our misery. Just do it. But they allowed us to fight and claw back, so that most likely, unfortunately, saved Dennis Allen's job as the head coach of the Saints. With how delusional Mickey Loomis is, I can totally see him, in his weekly interview this week, or I could totally see him saying, "Well, you see how the team fought for Dennis Allen, how they fought for each other." That just, I mean, I just know that is exactly what is going through Mickey Loomis's head right now. So the Saints, now 5-7 on the year, came into the league with the easiest schedule in the history of football and have lost seven freaking games. Now, did I expect the Saints, to win this game against the Lions to start? No. Um, but that's the thing, I kind of said it last week. When you lose so many games in the beginning of the season that you're not supposed to lose, you can't afford to drop these games to these really good teams like the Lions. If the Saints don't blow a lead to the Packers or if they don't get blown out by a bad Buccaneers team, then they can afford to lose, a game or two here at the end of the year. But no, they went and they found themselves now with a 5-7 record. Atlanta won again today, so that pretty much it's over. It doesn't matter. The Saints, all the graphics that pop up for in the hunt of the playoffs, it's still going to show the Saints there. The Saints should not be in the hunt for the playoffs. They should be thinking about who they're going to conduct head coaching interviews with, you know. But like I said, Mickey Loomis, I guarantee you he watched this game and is going to spin it somehow that the team fought hard for Dennis Allen. Meanwhile, you got Michael Thomas on Twitter during the game telling us basically what we already know. If you can read between the lines through his tweets, I'm not going to go through them. But yeah, just like I said, I'm never going to forgive the Detroit Lions for probably just saving Dennis Allen's job. But it is what it is. Another week, another loss. Derek Carr is hurt again. Looks like he might have another concussion. I mean, dude, at some point you might want to consider sitting him out for his own health. Forget his play for his health. Like, I mean, how many concussions can you have in a season and continue to play? Jameis came in and he was awful. We already knew that. Jameis sucks. Carr sucks. I mean, Saints had a chance there at the end, but Jameis misses two wide open receivers, and that's that. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty emotionless after this game. Numb to the pain. It is what it is at this point. Like I said, my biggest takeaway is I hope to God that little fight that the Saints had did not save Dennis Allen's job. Appreciate you guys watching. Peace.